There's no denying that LEGO Star Wars is one of the scariest video games of all time. The game is a masterwork of horror that has been delivering scares and nightmares to players for over 12 years. However, not much is known about the game due to its frightening nature, scaring off even the toughest of players, friends, viewers, even the most powerful Sith Lords. I took one for the team. I played through this game from start to finish. In the following video, I will be recounting all of the horrors I witnessed in the form of a top 10 list. Kenobi crew, I now present to you the top 10 scariest deaths in LEGO Star Wars. Disclaimer: this video is not intended for children, as it contains rather frightening footage taken directly from the video game LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Continue watching at your own risk. I think it's about time that we get into the list. But first, I will let you guys know that I am not responsible for any mental trauma you may receive moving forward in this video. You have been warned. At number 10, we have the moment where Jar Jar Binks almost died. Talk about nail-biting suspense. After Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan go through absolute hell trying to negotiate with the Separatists, they then witness the most disgusting and terrifying creature murdering a bunch of beautiful native flowers from Naboo. Forced by will and the Jedi Code, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan then have to save this disgusting and terrifying creature, and more importantly, this deplorable sight from an invasion of Trade Federation AATs. Qui-Gon ran right in the way of the Gungan and straight tackled him right to the ground. All that Jar Jar was doing was painfully murdering these flowers before he almost was murdered himself by being run over by an AAT. I was sweating bullets. I really thought that they were going to kill off the most important character to the Star Wars saga, and the game was going to end right then and there. Qui-Gon once stated that he would rather get run over by an AAT than witness this disgusting sight. The worst thing about this was that the Separatists were going to kill Jar Jar all by surprise. And after Qui-Gon saved him, the Gungan tried to kiss, yes, kiss the Jedi Master, not once, but multiple times. That moment, right then, where the most disgusting and terrifying creature tried to kiss Qui-Gon Jinn. Okay, moving on. At number 9, we have the moment where Darth Maul revealed himself to face Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi in a duel. As the characters continue this uphill battle in which they are slowly beginning to win, everything crumbles as this massive door opens to reveal the absolutely petrifying Darth Maul. The way he stands, his glare, it screams death before our ears. I recall watching the film The Exorcist the first time thinking, wow, what a terrifying face. What a disturbing image to look at. But when I played Lego Star Wars, and I saw the face of Lego Darth Maul, I couldn't breathe. I didn't sleep that night, or the next month. At number 8, we have the ending of the battle against General Grievous. At this point of the game, I thought I was on top of things. I was playing as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Commander Cody in a level where you battled General Grievous. Now, I was nearing the end of the battle, and I was about to kill him until finally I took out his final life. But then it instantly cut to this terrifying cinematic where General Grievous killed Commander Cody and then came after Obi-Wan in the most horrible way. Obi-Wan managed to crawl away just in time, but I really thought I was gonna lose him there. It was suspenseful. It was horrifying. I almost had a heart attack. Number 7, I put the scene where Luke is attacked and kidnapped by the Wampa. Luke is riding his Tauntaun through the snow on the planet Hoth, when this horrifying beast called a Wampa pops up out of nowhere in quite possibly the most scariest jump scare of the game and tears him to the ground. Luke is then dragged through the freezing snow and hung by the feet in a very disturbing and chilling cave. Listen, I have seen many horror films in my life, but nothing, I mean nothing, has made me scream as much as this jump scare. After I screamed so loud from this scene, I lost my voice for a short while. And I had to go to a doctor who told me I'd permanently damaged my voice. Stay safe playing Lego Star Wars, folks. Stay safe. Because it isn't funny what can happen to you. Okay. At number 6 is the fall of Anakin Skywalker. After pledging his allegiance to the dark side of the Force to rule under Emperor Palpatine to save Padme from death, Anakin Skywalker battled his former master and brother Obi-Wan on Mustafar. Obi-Wan Kenobi, being the excellent Jedi he is, just wanted to bring Anakin back to the light side of the Force, becoming brothers again. While the Jedi and Sith apprentice were dueling each other to the death, Kenobi managed to gain the high ground over his former Padawan Anakin for the first time in this battle of the heroes. Challenging Obi-Wan's experience and knowledge, Anakin Skywalker performed the most disturbing and frightening flip and force jump ever known to mankind, to regain level height with his opponent to try and defeat him. But instead, Obi-Wan Kenobi read Skywalker's moves and strategies and sliced the Sith apprentice with his lightsaber, and ended up cutting off both his limbs and most of an entire arm. Obi-Wan then witnessed Anakin catch on fire from the natural lava on this planet and eventually burn, all until the Sith Lord saved him. Now, I will show you the shot of Darth Vader getting severely damaged, but I'm going to blur Anakin's wounded body because it is quite disturbing, and I would like to spare you all your sanity. Here it is. This moment at death was so scary that I fainted. The Wampa jump scare was terrifying in its own right, but this, I literally couldn't handle this. I fainted. I collapsed. I don't know if it was resolved later on. I don't know what happened to Anakin. All I know is when I woke up, I was playing as Anakin in a seemingly burnt and angry as well as painful perspective. All I could see was black. It was like I was within a mask. At number 5, we have the moment where the Emperor electrocutes Luke. After travelling to the Death Star with the menacing Darth Vader, Luke stands before the Emperor, who may just be the most terrifying looking person alive. Luke doesn't even do anything. He just walks up and the Emperor gets angry, stands up from his seat and electrocutes him. Not even Darth Vader could stomach the situation. We see the conflicting emotions. Should he betray his master to stop this horrible sight? The heinous acts of the Emperor were so terrifying that Darth Vader, the villain himself, intervened. That is horror, my friends. That is what we should be afraid of in this world. True horror that can turn an evil villain against his even more evil villain master. At number 4, I put the scene where Anakin is turned into Darth Vader. This is one of the true horrors of the world, seeing an innocent man be turned into a monster. I always looked up to Anakin until I witnessed him slaughtering Jedi. And after that, he had a descent into madness. Just seeing this noble hero who turned into such a monster was enough to bring me to tears. Not only does LEGO Star Wars play on the psychological horrors that torment our souls day in and day out, but it is a masterful study of the human condition unlike anything we've ever seen previously. This only made the game so much more emotional and difficult to get through. This thing perfectly conveys the anger coursing through Darth Vader's veins as he destroys everything inside of the room. When this started happening on my Wii, I was wiping away the tears from my face, and I got up and I dived behind my couch back because I couldn't bear to look at the screen anymore. It was becoming too much for me to handle. I had to look away. I had to hide. I couldn't handle it anymore. At number 3, we have the moment where our heroes fall into the Rancor pit. There's one thing I took away from this scene. It's that Jabba the Hutt is not to be negotiated with. After Luke Skywalker becomes quick-tempered and grabs a blue mug to face off in a duel against Jabba the Hutt, Jabba retaliates by hitting a button that opens a trapdoor underneath all of our heroes standing atop it, and they all tumble inside of a gross, sandy pit. Inside of this pit, we are treated to an unpleasant surprise. An unbearable monster known as a Rancor. We are then immediately thrown back into gameplay and have to face off against this horrible monster ourselves. This wasn't just a cutscene. I couldn't just look away like I do for most of them. I had to face off against the Rancor myself. I was playing. This was easily the most difficult portion of any level to play. I almost gave up on the game. I almost did. But I thought, you know what? I'm almost at the end. Return of the Jedi? This is the last storyline. I'm almost at the end, and I stuck with it, and I kept marching on, but I had to take some time to recover after I finished this level. So, my warning to all of you viewers is just to be careful with this one. It doesn't matter how many horror films you think you've seen. It doesn't matter how well you think you can stomach the gruesome terrors of Lego Star Wars. This will get to you, just as it got to me. So I ask you to be careful with this one. Consider what you are doing before you play this portion of the game. At number 2 is Order 66. Yoda and Chewbacca, some of my favourite Lego Star Wars characters, were just walking along, minding their own business, and the clone troopers, who we just thought were the good guys, turn out to be the bad guys. And in this sudden turn of events, the troopers to which we trusted our lives betray us. On the spot, and nobody could have ever guessed that it was coming. Now that the people we thought were our friends have betrayed us and began to fire at us, TT Games forces us, the players, to take control of the lovable Yoda and Chewbacca and slaughter who we thought were our friends right then and there. Nothing to prepare you. Nothing to comfort you. It's the most torturous, horrible, and unspeakable twist ever conceived by the human mind. The folks developing this game must be the most twisted people on this planet for them to allow this to happen. The cutscene made me throw up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna try and hide that. The cutscene made me throw up. And pee. But that was only the cutscene. If If you're having a hard time handling the horrors you are seeing right now, I would highly recommend you click off this video now so you don't need to experience what I'm about to show you guys. Because it is truly horrifying. Okay. If you're still here, it means that you have accepted that you may never be the same again after seeing what I'm about to show you. Here we are, number 1. It's all been leading up to number 1. For my number 1 selection, I chose the Rebel Friend's death. The Rebel Friend and his allies were all living happily along the Tantive until they heard the news of Darth Vader intruding and breaking in to their ship with a squad of stormtroopers to steal back the Death Star plans. The Rebel Friend and his allies lined up along in a passageway ready to open fire at Lord Vader. Once the gameplay started and I was forced to fire at this walking machine whose only desire was to kill. I couldn't handle it anymore. I broke into tears. I fell to the floor. I couldn't bear to look at the screen. Even the thought of what was going on disturbed my mind. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play that portion of the game ever again. It was traumatizing. As soon as the door opened up, not one of the rebels stood a chance. The Rebel Friend opened fire and breathed and was slaughtered by the menace of a Sith Master, Darth Vader. The Rebel Friend put their lives on the line for the princess and for the rebellion. He was a true friend. A rebel friend. The Rebel Friend went down in history since, and he's referred to as the sound he made when he sadly died on the Tantive. I shat myself 8 times in this level, threw up twice, peed myself once, and fainted 12 times. Thank you for tuning in to my video, everyone. I don't imagine any of you are brave enough to make it this far. I don't imagine I'm speaking to anyone right now, but if somehow you made it, then I wish you the best of luck with your recovery. It won't be easy. It wasn't easy for me. In fact, I still haven't recovered. I fainted 4 times while trying to record the audio for this video. And